wasted in your fishbowl. I was scared of dentists in the dark. I was scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. I like my friend turning green. You're the magician's assistant in their dreams. When they come unstuck, lady running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left arm. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. There's this movie that I think you'll like. This guy decides to quit his job and heads for New York City. This cowboy is running from himself, and she's been living on the higher shelf. When they come unstuck, lady running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left arm. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Oh, I just gotta know if you're gonna stay. You just gotta know. 'Cause I can't have it any other way. Well, I swear she's destined for the screen, the closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. And they come unstuck, lady running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark.
Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. If you could just confirm that we are broadcasting live and you can hear us, you should be able to see Kev in the corner, and now you'll be able to hear his voice. Say hello.
That's me in the corner. That's me in the spotlight.
So we went from, the cognitive...
Interpretation of REM.
Yeah, we went from Cog to Kev. There we go.
Indeed. Well, I am that sugarcane that tasted good. That's Hollywood. That's another REM track for you.
Oh, okay. I guess we're on an REM theme tonight, which I actually saw them...
It's what happened. It's in my head now.
I saw them live at Hyde Park, actually, before they split up. This would have been 2000, I guess, 4, 5, 6, sometime in there. Yeah, it was a lovely summer day, and it was a great concert, and there were so many people. So many people, I didn't even get near it.
Did Michael Stipe dance slightly weirdly on stage?
I'm sure he did, but I don't remember it from a distance.
Because you were off your tits. You were absolutely wrecked.
I wish I could say that, but no, at that point I was quite sober, because I had to navigate my way back through the London streets. I don't even remember where I was staying that night, or I do remember walking out of the concert. I don't remember where I went afterwards.
You were definitely absolutely wrecked. There's no way you can remember that little of it.
Without being a little bit impaired in other ways. So anyway, how was your weekend been, Kev?
Yeah, it was fine, really. I mean, well done, South Africa.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to turn Cog down. Sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry about that. I was so concerned about the other sounds, I completely forgot to turn down the music. All right, we got it. All right, boomer moment. Sorry. I'm so distracted with the things I have to do. Anyway, Kevin.
Why do you make this more complicated?
I'm trying to be professional. To be professional.
This show is shit. Do it on your show, but on this show you really don't need to. I don't think anyone's expecting that.
Yes.
Oh, god damn it. Anyway.
So should we start again? You can't, guys.
My weekend was great until this moment. Now it's fucking ruined.
It was only 29 minutes. No, I'm kidding. I think we've been going. How long have we been going live?
But you missed me singing 2 different bits of REM.
That's true. Can you go back? Can you do it again?
No. I'm not a fucking seal. I don't just jump around for fish.
Kippers? If I throw them at your feet? All right, so the thing really starts 3 minutes
and then
in.
I'll just go, excuse me, and then pretend like it didn't happen. As the milkshake drips down my beard.
So this hangout was, now that we can actually start and people can hear us because we're not being drowned out by Cog.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, Cog, dickhead.
Happily I have the chat up, unlike you, who just ignore the chat. They're like, music! So thank you.
But that's because, that's why one of the reasons I don't play music at the start, so I don't need to listen to the chat say stuff. I don't care.
All right, so you wanted to do this hangout. You were in a bit of a mood. Oh, actually, I have to bring up Mr. RTG so that we can do that part. But,
yeah, right, tweet guy. I don't know. I was just in the mood, and he's got one about who he's voting for in the upcoming general election, and that's fun.
All right, so we're gonna
have a guess. Wild stab in the dark.
Well, he is a member of UKIP. So
he is.
Presumably.
And he mentions that rather ramblingly at the start of the video. It's very funny.
I mean, he did stand for office as a candidate for UKIP.
He did. Although he did confirm in this video he won't be standing in the upcoming election, which is a massive disappointment for us all.
I wonder why. Maybe it was the public humiliation he received last time, not to mention 2 criminal investigations. 2
criminal investigations, public humiliation, and 0 votes.
Yes.
Just to top it off, yeah. But he did have an amazing array of bulging pockets. So, I mean,
yeah, that was true. That's right. I forgot all the weird shaped pockets he had when he had just like random things lumping out his lower torso.
And you wouldn't mind if it was like bulge.
Yeah, if it was just round.
You'd be like, okay, well, that's interesting. I mean, it's weirdly placed.
Or,
to the side like that.
Or a thick, behind.
Usually a tilt one to the left or the right. He's a normal gentleman. Don't need to worry about that. But if it's literally on the side, so much on the side it looks like it's in your pocket, either your jeans are too tight or you've got a bent cock. One of the two.
Oh, by the way, speaking of bent cocks, did you save the pictures?
This better not be a really homophobic intro to a piece.
No. Well, it is a little bit because it's the. It's not homophobic. It could be wrongly taken as. But what I was thinking.
This show was fun whilst I was still, a part of it. But I wash my fucking hands.
No. It was the Grecian urn wrestling move. Did you?
Oh yeah, where I'm bumming Sargon.
You're naked Greek wrestling him. Technically.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can call it what you like in front of the kids. It's anal insertion, so I mean. Yeah.
But Carl looks quite excited about it. So, although so I'm glad you got the Grecian urns.
Did you know that the word gymnasium is the ancient Greek word for a place to be naked?
Is it?
It is indeed.
Did you?
Because they used to do it all naked.
That's true.
The vast majority of the early original Olympics were done naked.
Well.
Cocks to the wind, so to speak. Yeah.
It would certainly make all the sprinting events more entertaining.
Well, this is another silly little fact.
High jump.
The original Olympics was only involved one event called the Stadium, after which we get the name Stadium, which was roughly 200 metres in length.
So you had to run butt-ass naked.
To nearly 200 metres, yeah.
And then whoever was just the fastest and bounciest.
Indeed. I don't know if in the photo finish whether they took the cock into account, whether they had to do like a cock lunge. You know when they lunge head first for the line?
Right now. They used to go in their hip first.
Thrust. I beat him by half a bollock. Brilliant.
Nice.
Anyway, classy show. So professional.
Yeah, this is where we the gutter is where we start, and we really don't get out of it for most of the evening.
Exactly. Some of us are in the gutters, and some of us are looking at the stars, but some of us are doing dick jokes in the gutter. So
that would be.
I think that was. I mean, they don't quote him fully there, do they? But he definitely added the dick joke bit afterwards.
I think so. All right. So which one of these is which one he's voting for? Oh, who I am voting for in the November elections? That one.
That's probably the one, I reckon. Given the title.
It seems to be. Yes.
So.
All right, I didn't check the volume on this at all.
It's going to come out until after I record it. So let's see. But people have been.
Why didn't you cut Carl? He says that, I've got a new camera. I don't know how it's going to come out. Why didn't you just do like a test run? Just do a 10-second video just talking to the camera and then play it back. And then you'll see what it was like. You lazy bastard. Like, it's so not the point of the video, but it's just so sums up what a lazy, just fuck up of a person he is.
I'm going to get this a little bit bigger so I can see a squirrel face. We need more squirrel. We need more squirrel face.
Squirrel.
That's too.
Squirrel.
That's too big now.
Squirrel.
No, Carl, you're too. No one ever said that to Carl.
No, not to Carl. In fact, as there a woman, well, there probably has been. There probably someone with some weird growth issue that was like, "That's too big. That's seriously going to split me in two. What the fuck?" I bet that's probably happened.
That was a conversation he had with the Barbie doll, I think.
Oh, gee. Okay. Took that to a weird place. Weird, unnecessary place. Talking of weird, unnecessary sort of pedophilia, did you see Stephen Crowder in the week doing his weird thing?
Slutty Greta Thunberg?
Yeah, he had like a poll on his thing, and it was supposed to be funny, and he was like, slutty Donald Trump, and slutty this, and one of them was slutty human child under the age of majority, therefore not able to consent to sex, therefore it would be rapey as fuck. Slutty Greta Thunberg.
Yes.
What are you doing?
He's being a perv.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's weird.
He is.
Yeah.
All
he
right.
is, yeah. But that's the typical conservative. Technically, it's a hebephilia, actually. Yeah, I don't care. You're still getting shanked in jail for it, so whatevs.
True. All right, let me move Carl down a little bit because I just realized that in the broadcast, his head is slightly blocked by the happy hour sign. So yeah, he's going to start off with being overexposed in his camera here. It looks like he's overkeyed. He's got his key light on and then some backlighting.
You'll notice, again, look at the setup, right? So not only is the one bit of the screen he's filming, he's not sure how that's going to turn out. The visuals on the screen don't really seem to make much sense.
No.
Oh, there's no real reason for that to be there.
It looks like there's a puppet head or something behind him. And he looks two-dimensional. He's just totally flat.
That's the last part of his soul flying off.
I like that we've gotten to the part
dead inside
of our YouTube careers where we're like criticizing his film technique and his lighting technique.
It's just, I mean, mine's shit, but at least I'm not saying like, I don't have the budget that he's working on, and secondly, like he literally says at the start, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Well, check.
Just do a test run. You're so lazy.
And then you're like, then you can be like, oh wow,
that's what it's going to look like.
I'll change the white balance because I look like a fucking ghost. I look like I'm absolutely coked off my fucking tits having a white eye.
People pay him for this. It's amazing.
He does. I mean, look how ill he looks. It's ridiculous.
Okay. All right. We haven't even started yet. Okay.
Is he wearing shoulder pads? What?
He could be. There's some kind of...
No, I don't.
Okay. Hitting play.
Also, Carl, the black is slimming up to a point. Just saying. It's only so much he can do for you.
All right. Oh my gosh. People want you louder in the chat. I can't even believe that.
Boost.
There we go. You should be louder. All right, you guys, your audio wish is my command. People with headphones are really going to appreciate that. You're just going to drive our customers away.
Someone says in the chat, slutty Kellyanne Conway. I saw her being interviewed today by Dana Bash, and it was the most pointless conversation. Why do they even bother talking to Trump people? It's not a conversation. It's literally just orange man good.
It's both sidesism.
It's wank.
I agree. All right, well, let's
talking of
wank.
Stuff that's pointless.
White. Stuff that's white. Okay, here we go.
So I've changed cameras, so I don't know how this is going to come out until after I record it. So let's see. But people have been asking me who I'm going to be voting for and why I've been staying quiet on what's happening in UKIP. And this is the video in which I'll explain why.
Should we just briefly go over what's been going on with him?
Oh, yeah, let's please go ahead, Kevin, because I know you relish telling us.
Well, he keeps mispronouncing his name. He calls him Richard, whereas clearly we know his name is Dickie Brain, Richard the Penis Brain, who was the leader of UKIP did some sort of breaking and entering / data fraud stuff, which is currently under investigation by the police, and
Refused
was
to speak
escorted from the premises.
and
Refused to go to the
his
national
own-
conference before that, and then has now resigned as leader. So it's going real well over at UKIP.
super well, and they're basically not
I mean,
even.
it's not the really bad thing would be the really bad timing would be, say, if all that was happening literally just as a general election campaign was. If that was happening, that would be fucking dreadful timing for everybody involved with UKIP.
Like a
but
party.
Hilarious timing for me. So
Yeah, like a party that's actually so low in the polls, people don't even put them on the options for polling anymore.
yeah, they're not. They're
gone. They're done.
negligible.
Yeah.
They're not even. They're part of the others. You know,
Yes.
he's got like 2% others, which is basically like the monster raving loony party. Which, oh god, we've talked about them before. There was a thing in the week. They've released their manic festo, as they call it, and one of them was they're going to make sure that urinals in Parliament are a foot higher than they are to keep MPs on their toes, which is sort of genius. Anyway, so that's they're in with those people now. It's basically the point. Statistically, they're lower than is worth bothering with.
Yeah, I mean the Greens get offered. UKIP doesn't get offered anymore. So there, just put that in your pipe and smoke it, Carl. Sleepy squirrel. Hi, squirrel.
He does. He looks like he's
tripping.
Well, this is a phrase I haven't used in a long time. But people who smoke weed like irregularly sometimes go very white and have what's called pulling a whitey, where I don't even know what it is, some sort of toxic reaction or something. And Carl looks like that's happening to him now.
There you go.
He's not used to the ganj.
He had a fatty before this, a big one. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
The things with UKIP were actually not about me, so I didn't want to throw my weight into it and put pressure on people, because I felt that it might be in some way coercive.
Wait, what about the Revolutionary Youth Wing? I thought he was going to lead the party.
Basically.
Of course, because he's always
I haven't been talking about it because this would be disadvantageous for me, because if I talked about it, they'd kick me out of the party.
Also, it's really embarrassing.
Also, it's ridiculously embarrassing that I stood for this joke of a party.
Yeah, that I helped destroy. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he made it the joke,
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. The 2015 general election, they came third in the popular vote. I mean, they got no seats because first past the post is a bit ridiculous, but they came third in the popular vote in the nation. And Carl, the Grim Reaper meme exists for a reason.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
All right, I'll stay out of it because UKIP has apparently accountable democratic structures within it. So I thought, well, I don't need to do anything. The members have voted for Richard Brain. 53% of the vote to one of 4 candidates.
Richard Dicky Brain.
Why would it would be improper for me to get involved with all of this sort of stuff?
I'm only a very public member of UKIP. Why would I get involved? I'm lazy.
Because I felt that they had the structure there. They boast about it. It's one of the reasons I joined UKIP, and it seems to have been taken over by the NEC, the National Executive Committee of the party, seems to have been taken over by.
Hang on. Pause. Have a wild stab in the dark.
Sorry, slip of the space bar there.
Yeah, have a wild stab in the dark as to how he's going to describe the NEC of UKIP.
Communists or liberals or woke?
You were right, sort of, the first time, but it's worse even than just that.
Oh, are they Marxists? Are they cultural Marxists or postmodernists?
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. All right, let's see how he maligns them.
Power mad Stalinists, frankly.
There you go.
The Stalinists of UKIP.
The Stalinists of
UKIP. Carl
it's genius, isn't
doesn't
it?
know what words mean.
No, of course he fucking
doesn't know what words mean. Stalinist.
The Stalinists on the National Executive Committee of the United Kingdom Independence Party. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Carl. All right, here we go.
I can't believe I haven't been purged just because I am someone.
I am someone. Oh, that's
he is someone in the sense that he is a person.
yes.
Yeah,
Everyone
that
is
true.
someone. Everyone
Yeah.
is a someone. Yeah, I guess maybe he's a little bit offended that they haven't considered him worth bothering with.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to be kicked out so he can join the Brexit party, and then we can dust off the Grim Reaper memes, but with a new door.
Oh, Nigel would not have him. Nigel would
No,
show
exactly.
him the door.
Well, he does. He has a passive-aggressive little swipe at Nigel.
Oh, of course he does.
About it.
Well,
Yeah, because
men-
he's so bitter about it. It's so childish.
The guy he fanboyed over. They got to shake his
fanboyed
head.
over, and then I think the correct phrase is got fucking absolutely Hiroshimaed by.
Yeah, he called him vile.
Yeah, called him vile.
On
But when
national
again, it's worth
television.
reiterating, even fucking 6 months later. But when Piers Morgan and Nigel Farage call you a prick
Yeah.
and like have the
That's
moral high ground on you, you're in a bad fucking place.
Yeah, if Piers Morgan can high road you, you are
Yeah.
you're human garbage. You're a garbage person. Okay.
But he's just a virtue signaling cock beta, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
Standard. The other 99% of the time that we agree with him, and then it's fine apparently or something. I don't know.
All right. Hitting play.
Anyway, let's hear about this somebody.
Yeah.
People
This
talk
a-hole.
about. But because I've kept my mouth shut, I think I'm still a member.
Look at that face. He's like, yeah, that's exactly it. I've kept my mouth shut because I don't want to be the person who's been kicked out of a dead party. That actually
That would
turned
be hilarious.
his membership fee away.
I thought they were going to take over the party. Anyway, I thought,
Right.
why doesn't he run for? There's a leadership candidate position there, Carl. Go for it, lad. That would be fucking brilliant.
So a whole bunch of his viewers wasted their money to join UKIP, and now he's going to vote for the Tories.
Don't ruin it. It was going to be such a big surprise.
Oh, yeah, with his hard-on for Morgan. What's the guy's name? Jacob Rees-Mogg? It's so hard to say that name.
Jacob Rees-Mogg, yes. Or as
Yeah.
some people refer to him, the Right Honourable Gentleman for Downton Abbey.
But the Stalinist thing is a highlight. That's so classically Carl. All right, I'm going to hit play here.
Well, I guess we'll see how long that lasts until after I've made this video. But the way that the NEC has been behaving has been abominable, in my opinion. And it's been deeply embarrassing. And so that
But not as embarrassing as a leader of a party failing to turn up for your own convention because it didn't sell enough tickets?
Yeah.
Seriously?
And trying to
That's
break
embarrassing.
into the headquarters and
Yeah,
steal data,
yeah.
which is very illegal.
They were escorted from the premises, were they not?
I believe so, yes. They had to be physically removed from the establishment, which is rough.
These are such numpties. All right,
And you have your own party.
here we go. Hitting play.
that's one of the reasons why I also didn't want to talk about it. And
Oh, it's not because you're a baller's fucking arse, Carl. No,
that too.
it's definitely just because I don't want to coercive and Stalinists and stuff. No, it's not because I've got a basic lack of spine. Not at all. Not at all. That'd be
No.
crazy talk.
No. Okay, here we go.
the way that the things it's trying to do, I mean, that so many people have just been kicked, just absolutely kicked for just being in support of Gerard Batten and the sort of populist direction that people are trying to take UKIP in. The membership are trying to take UKIP in.
If the membership were trying to take in that direction, they would have turned up at the convention.
Yeah. Not just that, but Carl, it's the direction that has destroyed the party. So
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, the NEC is there to like try and steer it into a direction which isn't toward the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Generally, when you lead a party from having seats in an EU election to having no seats, people don't want to defend that.
Yeah,
That's
people think maybe the direction we've gone in hasn't quite worked.
Yes. Failed utterly might be
Yeah.
another way of thinking about it. Embarrassing humiliation in front of the nation. Another. Okay.
the NEC is acting like the Parliament when it comes to Brexit. They don't seem to want to change. They seem to think that the old way of doing things is the only way it's going to be done. And
Wait, didn't he just say that they had rules for democratic accountability in the party, and that's why he liked it? And so isn't that what they were doing if they're holding to the old ways?
He's talking shit. You're looking for the needle of logic in the haystack of bollocks.
Yes, I forgot. Carl contradicts himself within his own video. That's Sargon's Law number 2. Okay.
And I don't think that's true, but that's, again, I've been keeping my mouth shut on this. So, people have just been simply disagreeing. And so she, like, the chairwoman was Kirsten. And
of course, it's got to be a woman.
Yeah.
Because women are the enemy, WOMs.
WOMs are the enemy.
They're always upstarting, sticking to the rules and not wanting to have guys get away with crap. Okay.
She tried to fire Richard Brain, the elected leader.
The volume's gone for me.
I don't know. I think he was speaking softly, but I can turn it up a little bit. I'll just check it on my end, though. So hopefully should be fine. Let's try it one more time. If it's still soft, I'll stop screen sharing and restart it. Okay?
Suspend him, but it turned out that he's her immediate line manager.
Was that still really soft?
No, it's not really soft. It's silent.
Oh.
Look, the sound has gone for me.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Well, then I'll just reshare.
Okay.
All right, there might be a slight lag, so I'll wait for you to catch up. You can let me know when it's on your screen.
It's on my fucking screen, yo.
All right, let's see if we can hear the twat.
And so she couldn't do that.
There he is.
Okay.
But there's just such internal resistance, and I'm just kind of disgusted by the way it's being carried out. Richard Brain has resigned because of this. They're not letting him lead the party, and he's completely...
No, Carl.
What?
They're not letting him be a dictator, because he's not.
Right.
The leader of a party doesn't literally get to just make all of the rules and make all of the policy. That's not how any democratic party should ever operate. But whatevs,
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, this is interesting, his cowardly take on this. Like, I'm not going to talk about this until it's all over kind of thing, but...
Right. It's very much like Boris Johnson and the Parliament. He has done everything that he can do and everything that's in his power to do. He's been travelling around. He's been giving branch meetings.
Except going to the National Convention.
Yeah.
Yeah, except that very basic concept of that's exactly... You should be the headline speaker at your national conference, not refuse to turn up.
It looks so bad. That is a fireable offence in my opinion.
Yeah, so he did everything he possibly could except the most basic thing.
His job
But he did a couple of interviews on the radio, so that's awesome, apparently.
His main job as leader is to be the spokesperson for the party. And so to not appear for the media at your own convention, it looks terrible. It's dereliction of duty, in my opinion. I mean, it would be one thing if he was in hospital and sick or something. But he's just like, no, I can't be bothered because the ticket sales were low.
Or like Mark Francois, if you'd exploded, that would be fine. I think you take the day off, don't you?
Yeah.
At that point.
At that point, yes. All right, hitting play.
Things revitalizing the grassroots of it. He was doing really well, right? He was actually doing a great job.
Revitalizing what exactly?
Yeah.
You've got nothing. You are nothing.
No
the party
support.
is dead as shit.
Yep.
There are fucking corpses with more animation and more life to them, your fucking political party. Reinvigorate? Shut up, you tusser.
I mean, he couldn't even get people to turn up at the convention.
Yeah, he's reinvigorated it to the point where he's too embarrassed to turn up to his own national convention. What a sterling job you've all done.
This is so ridiculous. All right, hitting play.
Had some great media interviews where he smashed Femi in a debate that went sort of semi-viral, like 500,000 views,
500,000 views. Yeah,
Wow.
That's really impact for a party leader. No, I think appearing on the BBC would be more of an impact. Oh, God. Okay.
He's had some great appearances on Talk Radio and Sky. He's done
Also,
really
Carl
well.
thinks he smashed everyone, apart from you, when he lost so badly that literally had to admit it. even he had to go, actually, you know what, I didn't do brilliantly, which is like the ultimate. That's like, it is literally like the guy, the Monty Python thing where he's just a head on the ground saying,
Yes.
come back, I'll bite you on the ankles. But even him's going, you know what, actually, yeah, you beat me this time, definitely.
Yeah.
But he says, oh yeah, I absolutely destroyed this other person. So I've not seen this thing with Dickie and Femi, which is an amazing tagline for it, which they should have used. I don't know if they did. But Femi's this quite interesting character, that guy, British guy, who goes and like will literally not antagonise as such, but will go face to face with like Brexit mobs and stuff, and like argue the point with them in the public and stuff. It's really interesting. Anyway, so I haven't seen that debate, but I'm dare say Dickie Brain did not do as well as Carl is portraying it there.
Right. Thank you for the
And
correction.
apologies if you can hear the fireworks going off, because there are cunts that live around by me. It's not gunfire, I promise. It's just the people who live around by me are garbage.
Is there a bonfire night soon?
There is soon, but they let them off for about 2 weeks beforehand and about 3 weeks afterwards. It's
Right.
fun.
Okay, got it. All right, back to Carl then. We'll drown out the fireworks with his nonsense.
And they're still trying to get rid of him. It's like Richard's actually a really great leader for UKIP at the moment. He really gets it, and he can defend everything.
No, he isn't. He isn't remotely.
UKIP.
Yeah. If he did, he would be out there doing it. He would have led the party.
They're not trying to get rid of him. They've gotten rid of him. He's literally resigned. And secondly, in what possible way is he a great leader for UKIP? You're dead. Your party is dead.
How many candidates are you fielding at the general election?
Yeah. He is as effective as not being the leader as he was at being the leader. He's having that much of an impact.
None.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, that's very interesting. I will see when all of the official collation of the numbers come through, which will be a couple of weeks, I think. It's like the deadline for candidacy. I will check that and I will get back to you on exactly how many they're fielding. I would be very surprised if it's anywhere near 3 figures.
Oh.
Bearing in mind there's like 650 total seats.
Yeah, no way. Absolutely no way they would be able to pull that together.
Which is, like I say, in 2015, so only 4 years ago, they came third in the popular vote, which is pretty impressive. You know, there's no point being churlish about that. That's a phenomenal achievement. Albeit that it was interesting that Farage said he's not standing in the election, which is annoying because I wanted to see him lose for the 8th time. That would have been really fun, but we're going to have to stick at 7 for now. And in that intermittent 4 years, what happened that might have changed changed UKIP's fortunes? I wonder. Maybe, I don't know, jumping in bed with extremist garbage like Tommy Robinson and Carl Benjamin. Maybe. Just a thought. Don't know about you.
Kevin, can you remind the people at home how many of their deposits UKIP lost when they ran?
The European elections? Yes, all of them.
Oh, yeah, that would be right. That's all.
Literally every single penny of it. Yeah.
I don't even know how they would put up deposits this time.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, presumably out of their own pockets because they got no fucking money as a party.
No, they don't. All right, here we go.
Taking a moral position on things because they are.
I don't care about your moral position, Carl.
Or your moral outrage.
Well, that was the joke I was doing.
Yes. Just doing
but
it
Americans
explicitly.
have to spell it the fuck out, don't they?
Yep.
Jesus.
Not everyone. Some people are new, so they don't know the old jokes. We got to catch them up.
Fuck the new people.
Sink or swim.
See, the old people will get that joke, but the new people will think, oh, that's not very nice. I'm leaving.
And point 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Hitting play.
The other great loss is Lord Pearson has resigned over the behaviour of the NEC, not because of like their complaints about Tommy, and that's what all of this seems to stem from, frankly.
Yeah, he was
the association
officially
with Tommy
censured
Robinson.
by the House of Lords because he brought in Tommy Robinson to the House of Lords. Lord Pearson is a lord, by the way, as the name would suggest, who stands for UKIP. And because they can't get like elected members in the Parliament, they can get unelected ones though. And he brought Tommy Robinson into the mother of all parliaments to have like tea or something. And then a couple of weeks later, he was in prison. So that's fun. So that UKIP don't want that. Because this is the thing, Carl. You may not have realised this yet because you're a fucking idiot, but the likes of you and Tommy Robinson are the electoral equivalent of ass cancer. Okay, nothing good comes from you at all.
Yeah, your attitudes and views are the stuff people walk around when stuff is leaking out of dumpsters. I mean, that's a kind of, it's vile. Your white supremacy is vile. No.
Even right-wing people like Nigel Farage and fucking Piers Morgan and garbage like that, even they look at you and go, no, this is just no. Like, I'm a prick. I'm a monumental garbage bag of the worst kind. I am detritus. But even I look upon you with disdain.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. All right.
Piers Morgan 2019.
All right, hitting play.
And
Lord Pearson has resigned as well over the way the NEC is behaving.
So UKIP hasn't even got a lord anymore. Fucking hell. Even the unelected members aren't fucking are leaving now.
Gosh.
Even their unelected politician, their one remaining politician, has now left. Jesus.
Dead party. Dead.
Yeah,
Stop! He's dead already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this really is. I mean, Carl, you are desperately trying to weekend at Bernie this, but it's just not happening for you, lad. That is a corpse you're dragging around.
Yeah, just put Dankula and Carl on the front of Weekend at Bernie's with just like a UKIP symbol on the...
If it had just been Dankula who joined as part of that, they might have been able to get away with that because A, no one cares about UKIP in Scotland, so he just wouldn't have registered, and B, he's like a core celeb for like free speech people, but he's not like there aren't like rape tweets and stuff you can pin on him. Like he's not that bad. He's done some dumb shit, of course, but he's not like horrific in that respect. Whereas with Carl, like I say, I mean, he's electoral fucking, I don't even know, arsenic or something. I don't know.
Like toxic waste, nuclear waste.
Yeah. Like, it's like you're taking the votes that you might have been able to win and burning them.
Just warming your hands with them.
Yeah, which, I mean, it will make you feel toasty in the short term, but will ultimately lead to you getting no votes.
Yes, and not running in another election because you don't want to be humiliated again.
Yeah. No, it's not because of that, Kristi. It's because of the Stalinists.
The Stalinists, that was it, the Stalinists.
So, victory.
The UKIP.
So this is very much a victory for him. Yeah, the UKIP Stalinists.
That is never not going to be funny.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? As soon as I heard the phrase fucking Stalinist NEC at UKIP, I thought to myself, well, we have to watch this. Yes. Definitely. This is amazing.
Okay. All right. Just for that line alone, it made it worth it.
I thought to myself, I think Kristi will enjoy this. Definitely. I think she'll get some this.
You know me well. After all these years, you know me well.
I do. You like two things, dick jokes and dick. See what I did?
Ding,
That's
ding,
two
ding.
dick jokes in one.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, I'm going to hit play now and play the other dick.
That's the two great assets that I felt that UKIP had have now gone.
Kristi's got two great assets as well.
I have more than two great assets. What you talking about?
Your intelligence and your wit.
Oh, right,
That's what
right.
I was talking about, Kristi.
Okay. I was wondering if you were counting them as a package or separately.
I wasn't going to separate them. I was just going to place my face between them and kind of jiggle about. I was going to motorboat your wit and your humour. So.
I try to raise the game and you take it up the next level, Kevin. You make me better. You make me better.
Exactly. I like to sharpen everyone's nonsense radar. Nonsense radar? That's not a thing, Kev. Come on now.
It's like Bant's boot camp with you every week.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah.
All right.
At ease.
Hitting play.
I don't want to be the guy who sort of like leaves, but like this is not good, and I'm waiting for the NEC.
I don't want to be the guy who leaves, but like I'm going to be the guy who leaves. Is what he's basically saying.
Carl, yeah, when you say but,
yes.
then you have to come up with like a sentence. When you say I don't want to be the guy to leave, but what?
But I'm going to. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm going to.
Clearly, you do want to be the guy who leaves because you're the guy that's leaving. So why are you saying exactly. I don't want to be that guy? You are that guy.
Yeah, also, they can like kick you out of the party for actively trying to campaign for a different political party.
And I would consider this video,
Yeah, exactly. Well, he literally says, I can't ask, well, in a second, spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen it, but he says, I can't ask people to vote for UKIP. I'm going to vote for the Tories. Yeah, they're going to kick you the fuck out, obviously, you twat.
I think maybe they'll just let his membership lapse and not bring it up because they don't want to remind people that they had an association with him.
No, they should wipe their arse with his membership card and send it to him in the fucking post.
Well, they can't send him a picture on Twitter because he's been banned.
Exactly. Well, we should take a moment to celebrate the 1 millionth Carl account that's been fucking nuked by Twitter. I mean, that's quite a milestone.
Can we have a moment of silence for Mecha Sargon? Okay, that's it.
Yeah. Mind you, that was a couple of days ago. He might have burned through 3 or 4 more accounts
since then. Yeah, true. Okay, all right, that's your pause. I'll hit play then.
See, to effectively go like, hang on, is this going to actually finish off the party entirely?
No, Carl, you did that.
Happened. Yeah, that's already happened, man.
But not in a good way. You didn't finish off the party.
Yeah, exactly.
In a good way.
Not finishing it off like certain masseuses do to you, Carl. Not like that kind of finishing off. Not at all.
No, more like.
Okay.
In the desperate struggle to retain control, it is just genuinely a sort of a comparison to Brexit. It really is just like it.
Wait, so it's like Parliament and it's like Brexit.
Jesus,
and it's like...
this is the third or fourth time you said this is just like Brexit, because that's the only prism through which you can see everything. I wonder if his kids sat down there going doing something naughty, and he says, no, you can't do that, and they say why. He goes, it's just like Brexit, okay? You can't do it because if you do, the Stalinists will eat your face.
The Stalinist NEC will come along and eat your face.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't eat your vegetables, the Stalinists win. Is the
that's the yes.
parenting with Carl.
I am not surprised that ever actually happened. That would not surprise me.
That would not surprise me in the slightest. Yeah.
No.
If you don't, Jeremy Corbyn will eat a mummy to death or something. I bet he says dumb shit like that.
Yep, put money on that. All right, here we go, hitting play.
And by the way, again, look, we're nearly halfway through the video. The thing he's got on the screen, he hasn't done anything with it. It's literally just the
backdrop,
front page of the Evening Standard.
Well, it means his face doesn't have to be so big.
True, but I want to see his big squirrely face.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
And so I can't really say in good conscience vote for UKIP at the moment because I really disagree with what the party itself, the party, not the membership, is doing. And so the question
is the party leadership standing for election?
No.
Then it doesn't make sense to not support local candidates because of what the National Committee is doing.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Of course it is, and he knows it is. He's having the Tory midlife crisis. You remember, and it's a thing I like to remind him of. He made that video a few years ago. The Tories are not your friends. Back when I think he still had some residual decency about him from when he was a younger person. But that BBC reporter guy from he was on that interview that no one else wanted to be on.
Yeah.
He went and did it on the BBC Radio 4, and he said he's having a Tory midlife crisis. And it's so true.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievably true.
Yeah. This is it. It's his Tory. He's coming out as a Tory. He's always been a Tory, but he's now just coming out as one. He's tried a lot of different things, but... I
told him the first ever conversation we had, 4 hours long, fuck's sake, first ever Google Hangout I ever did. I told him he was a Tory then, and he wouldn't have it. He was centre left. He was a classical liberal.
Oh, you should dig that out, and you should put that in a little compilation for Twitter and YouTube.
But I'd have to listen through the 4 hours again to find the bit. If it's still on my channel, it's one of the first videos on my channel still.
If they
4 hours long.
If they have auto transcripts, you can open up the auto transcript and just search
Kristi,
for Tory.
I'm already bored. I'm so not doing that. I'm bored. You explaining it to me is too boring.
All right, got it.
Doing it.
All right. Well, if anyone else wants to do it for Kevin, because we all need to help him with his man flu of technology. All right.
I'm a man corpse of technology. Okay. I'm done.
You're a Luddite. sort of. You're a semi-Luddite.
Don't
You're a
diss on the
proto.
Luddites.
You're a
The Luddites were
proto-Luddite.
actually really good people.
Who was the?
They weren't anti-technology at all. They were anti-people being put out of work by technology.
Yeah.
Employers who properly recompensed and didn't dehouse people who were put out of work by the new technology. Those factories were never ever touched. It was nothing to do with being against technology. Just a little history thing for you there.
All right, but saying you're a proto-Luddite makes as much sense as calling people proto-Marxist today.
Well, that is true. Yes, in the I'm not and nobody is.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, hitting play.
So who am I going to vote for in the general election? So, I mean, honestly, I don't know. The polls put the Conservatives... I mean, one poll has put them at 41%, but that's obviously a generous outlier. Most of them have them between, like, 35% to 35 to sort of 38%, with Labour around 24%, Lib Dem at 20%, and then a fair split between the rest.
What party's not listed there, Kevin? What party isn't on that list?
Technically, other contains some other people, doesn't it? So.
Like
But you'll notice, even the two
and...
parties that only run in restricted geographic regions, like Scotland and Wales, they're listed individually.
Yeah, they are.
Whereas Carl is intriguing. Well, that's obviously because Carl isn't standing. If Carl was to stand, they'd be at like 59 million %.
And it would be at 0. Yeah, it would be a UKIP column for 0.
They'd be tired of all that winning, wouldn't they? Hey?
All right.
The Brexit Party normally on 10%.
And by the way, there's been something of a bounce for Labour since the launch of their general election campaign anyway. So actually those numbers have tightened up a bit.
Not the ones I saw today. All of them are
like... What ones
like...
did you see today?
I have them in my bookmarks if you want to look. I had them on my show earlier today, which you would know if you had watched it. I don't know what time.
I was having a massive wank.
Wow, for an hour and a half. You take your time,
3
enjoy
hours.
yourself.
It just, you happened to be in the middle of it. I was 3 hours of solid nonsense. I'm done. 30,
all right.
24. Hang on.
Sorry. Yeah.
39, 27, 40. Well, that's tightened up a little bit.
From 41, the one Carl was looking at was 41.
Well, look, if
24.
Well, just look at the differences there. Look, hang on. Oh, go back. Sorry.
12.
Labour up 6, so that's a 3-point narrowing.
But that's still.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's enough to stop a general election loss. I'm just saying it has tightened up a bit, which is what you would expect, I think, actually, because it's what happened in 2017. And
yeah, you can see Lib Dems, Labour. You're pulling from Lib Dems. Labour are pulling from Lib Dems there, basically.
Yeah, and the Tories are pulling from Brexit. But what you will see, I think, is that the Brexit Party will increase, because they've already said they're going to be putting out leaflets to every home in the country with explaining why Boris's deal is really bad, which will definitely resonate, because he'll have Nigel Farage's face with "fuck Boris Johnson" on it or whatever, which obviously won't help Boris Johnson. And Boris Johnson, look, their whole thing seems to be predicated on winning Labour seats in the north that they've never won before. But they couldn't have chosen a worse person than Boris Johnson for that, because he literally reminds those people in the north why they despise the Southern Tories so much. He's literally like the archetype of what that is. Well, apart from maybe Jacob Rees-Mogg would be worse, but marginal.
Yeah, but those disaffected Labour people could vote Brexit Party.
They could, and I still think it's going to be a close call between a Tory majority or a hung parliament. But
well,
I expect it to be a bit narrower than the 12 to 15% poll difference that you're seeing now. Because bear in mind, Theresa May was 24 points ahead when she called that general election. And that ended up.
But then she did the dementia tax, which did not help at all.
True, but the Tories haven't started well at all. Their campaign slogan is "Britain deserves better." Now, when you've been the government for the last 9 years, everyone's going, "Yeah, we do deserve better than you, you twat."
Except they're not. I mean, they are polling almost 40% or 38%. So, but.
No, but it makes it easy on a local level for people to make that argument. Is the basic.
Yeah. Or to make that joke.
You can't be the changed candidate when you're the incumbent. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Well, they try, but yeah, that's that is the case. So, but and it's a long time until December 12th. A lot can happen between now and then.
Yeah, the election, they do. I mean, okay, to snap elections, so maybe you need a bit more time, but 6 weeks always seem like a bit much. Like, if we had a vibrant democracy with like an honest press and an engaged electorate, 6 weeks would be a really good time to to debate the issues and stuff. But we don't have any of those things.
But how many people are really undecided? Isn't it more about turnout than convincing people at this point?
Probably, yeah. Plus, the press is so shit. They keep playing the Tory game all the time. Like the 2 stories in the last couple of days, which they're so shit, the press. They announced the end of the Tories. Announced the end of the benefits cap, where they have a maximum amount you can possibly get from benefits. Even though that isn't news, because that was announced 2 years ago. So that's not a new announcement. Why are you even reporting that? That's not news. And secondly, it was reported they're going to ban fracking. Now that sounds great on the surface, but no, they're actually not going to ban fracking. You fucking cockheads in the media. They're putting a moratorium on it. So basically, they're going to halt any new fracking until after the election, and then all of a sudden decide that it's scientifically safe and reintroduce it. You fucking idiots.
Did you see the interview when it was a newscast, and it was a woman who was asking a Tory minister about the police numbers and that they're going to put 20,000 more police on the streets? Did you see that clip?
I did not.
Oh God. Dang it! Because
that's another one. Yeah, they say like, it's 20,000 police officers. No, when you've taken 30,000 off since you've been in power, if someone steals £100 from you and then gives you 50 of it back, that's not a gift of £50. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Hey, people in the chat, do you guys know what section the thing I'm talking about? The person.
Is it relevant, Kristi? Can we get through
it's
this
so good.
shite?
No, Kevin, you have to watch this ownage. If well, look in the chat and see if people. We'll maybe come back to it after Carl. But
I saw Johnson getting booed at Addenbrooke's hospital.
Oh, did you see Trump getting booed at another sporting event?
Yeah, it was at the MMA or something.
UFC.
Addenbrooke's is where I had my head stitched up.
Oh.
There once.
And they booed him.
Yeah. No, not the. No, I. Yeah, you're getting your stories mixed up now. But yeah, he got booed at the thingamajig.
They both got booed.
Who did?
Boris and Trump.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's separate events.
Yes, and one was at a hospital. Oh, sorry. GMB, Susan Reed. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of text. I missed it. So I'll go ahead and I'll paste that in now, and then we'll come back to that a little bit later.
It was on Good Morning Britain. Okay.
Yeah.
I presume it's Good Morning Britain rather than someone called Susanna Reid from the GMB trade union. I imagine it isn't that person.
It was her and Dave.
Her and Dave from the GMB, yeah. Good shop stewards from Nottingham. I made that up.
All right. Oh, yeah, this is it. Can we take
Grant Shapps. Oh, okay. That corrupt motherfucker.
Yep. All right. So it looks like we've got a recording of the TV broadcast, so I have no idea. Do you want to check this out? Because it is gorgeous.
Yeah, go on then.
It's beauteous. It made me sexually aroused, if I'm honest.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. Fingers crossed on the audio, guys.
Today is the day that we were supposed to leave. I mean, I remember it was supposed to be the 29th of March. This is a Tory government.
No, that's not it. Where is the one about the police? Sorry. I'm pretty sure. Are you sure it was Susan Reed, you guys? Oh, that's pretty close. I can't spell today, which doesn't help. All right.
Is that it?
Justice Secretary. Yes, this is the one. A different gammon. Sorry. They all look the same to me.
How dare you? This is a high-ranking member of the government.
Oh, that's a good pun. Okay,
Thank you.
I think we're ready. I won't go full tilt on the audio. Crackdown on violent criminals. Here we go, from October 1st.
Prevent people going on to stab other people and take their lives, and cutting those youth services.
No, I don't think that's it either. They're talking about the number of police.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry, this was the guy. Car crash. Yes.
Oh,
Who is
okay.
this one? What's this
that's,
guy?
oh, fuck's sake. He's resigning, I think, isn't he? What's his fucking name?
Grant Shapps?
No, Grant Shapps is the one that we had before that you
Ben
said wasn't
Shepherd?
him. No, that's her co-host. The guy's name. Someone in the chat tell me that man's name. I've totally forgotten. Oh, that's so annoying. He was a Tory minister for years.
Oh.
Kristi hates white people. That is true. She is the original gangster of anti-white racism.
Oh, they gotta
Someone
control
tell me who
this.
that motherfucker is. That Tory cockhead there.
That one. All right, I'll scroll up a little bit so you can see his face. That one.
Yeah. What's his name? I should know this. I watch Parliament all the time, and it's so annoying.
I think that is the Grant Shapps thing. I don't know. Maybe they took it down.
Hancock.
Hancock?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Hancock.
guys.
Matt Hancock.
I let us down a...
This is so not going to be fucking worth it now.
All right, we're just going to go back.
Why is she interviewing the Secretary of State for Health about police? I
don't know. All right. Someone says
was worth it.
Tony Blakeway's like, for fuck's sake, people read the chat.
I was focusing on Kristi hating white people.
Ooh, that's loud.
Voters set to head to the polls just before Christmas after MPs overwhelmingly backed a general election
God, this is so long.
for December the 12th.
Yeah, Boris Johnson has admitted it will be a tough election.
All right, I'm going to skip
Deja
it.
vu, going back to 2017, ahead in the polls.
You guys have a timestamp for us?
To get bigger majority in order to get Brexit done, and then it all fell apart.
Well, we've got an incredibly clear message. Parliament...
Oh, quiet down.
In 2017. And is it, in all honesty, do you think the leader...
La, 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 la. Scrolling ahead.
That as well as being the only party who can deliver Brexit...
Yeah. Oh, gosh, this is just going to be 6 weeks of this, isn't it?
That's Mr. Hancock.
Yeah.
Well, this is about what we're going to do in the future.
This is it.
Incredibly welcome to people.
That doesn't even cover the cuts, Mr. Hancock.
Well, this is about what we're going to do in the future. And in the future, we're going to have more police on our streets and tackle crime.
No, sorry, we won't even have as many police officers as you cut.
Yes, we will. We're having 20,000 new police officers. In fact, the first 7,000 are already being recruited.
You cut 21,000 police officers.
We're going to have more police...
This guy's face... This guy's face here is amazing. Okay, can we go back and start a little bit earlier and get this, or you want to just keep going? But
just keep going.
Yeah, this guy's face this is precious. He's like, yeah, I want to watch you squirm. How are you going to get yourself out of this?
I'm watching this motherfucker squirm. Yeah.
So the setup is she brought up the 20,000 in cuts when he brought up the 20,000 that they're adding into the streets. That's what this is all about. Yeah.
On our streets, as I say, it's about focusing on people's
only because
priorities.
you cut the number of police officers.
Well, yes. Boris Johnson has only been Prime Minister for just under 6 months. In that time, he's already successfully got an agreement with the EU, which people didn't think he was going to be able to. He's committed to the biggest hospital building programme in a generation. That wasn't happening until he became Prime Minister. He's committed to 20,000 more police and to increasing standards in schools and levelling up the spending on schools.
Yes,
these are the people's priorities.
Yes, and
there's nothing unfortunate about it. It's a
of,
great positive domestic
but
agenda.
But under austerity, Mr. Hancock, you know that really all you're doing is trying to fix the things that you caused.
Well, it's absolutely...
You're trying to fix the things that you caused. That was just... Nailed it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. They're just trying to paper over the cracks that they've fucking opened.
Yeah, but she just totally called him out on that, you know?
And they're not going to follow through with any of these spending promises anyway.
No.
As soon as they get into power, they've already said they're going to do tax cuts. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to be tax cuts for the rich.
But they basically had a Queen's speech that was going to last for how many weeks, and then it's done with. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that was such a waste of money. That was a party political broadcast that they got the Queen to do for them.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
disgusting.
A little shout out. Thanks for the £5 from Flint Reed. Some cash of Kev will violent, sexy dance for us. I am missing the Brummy on mic boom action.
There you go. I literally just lightly punched Mike's stand to pretend I was doing violent, sexy dancing.
So there you go. You're just trying to fix the things that you caused.
Yeah,
I just think
they broke it and now they're trying to partially fix it.
Yep. And take credit for fixing what they broke.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're literally the benefits cap thing. They were like, "Oh, we're ending the benefits cap." Yeah, but you put it in. What? That's not you doing something good. That's you undoing something shit that you did. That's already caused untold numbers of suicides. You evil bastards! Like, fuck you.
All right, so this is who Carl is going to be supporting. Those guys who are making problems. Okay, back to this douche.
But I mean, to be honest with you, I probably will. Things I don't even like Boris's deal, right? I don't even like Boris's deal, but I think that's the only chance of getting anything that approaches a deal. I think that the other alternatives, if everyone sort of voted Brexit Party, and Brexit Party got somewhere in the region of like 20-24%, I think they'd probably end up taking from the Conservatives, and
oh no, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're going to want that. Well, also, if he wants a harsher deal, he would get that, but he's too spiteful to support Nigel, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Boris Johnson hasn't personally denounced him.
Yeah, I think because he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who he is. I mean, yeah. I dare say Nigel's definitely forgotten about him. But it surprises me that Carl would support the Conservatives, because if we go up to the tabs that I sent you earlier, they're just right there.
Yep, which one?
The first two, either of the first two will do. It's surprising to me that the man who sends rag tweets and stuff would support a party that literally has a guy who sabotaged a rape trial and got it to collapse.
What?
And a guy who was later then actually convicted of rape. Yeah,
What?
he's now been suspended. He was the Conservative, or the prospective Conservative candidate for the Vale of Glamorgan in Wales, even though his name's England. There you go. There was a trial where he was specifically told that the previous sexual history of the woman who was the victim, and we do know she was a victim because, like I say, after it collapsed, there was a retrial and the man was found guilty of the rape. That her past sexual conquest, in other words, he was trying to essentially slut shame her and victim blame,
Right.
on the stand, giving evidence, right? Even though he was told that her past sexual relationships were not admissible in court.
Can I actually read this out? Because this
Yes.
is amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Giving evidence in the April 2018 trial, Mr. England made claims about the sexual relationship after the judge, Stephen John Hopkins QC, had made it clear that evidence of the sexual history of the victim was inadmissible. Mr. Hopkins said to Mr. England, quote, "Why did you say that? Are you completely stupid?" Unquote. Later telling him to get out of my court.
Yeah.
So when you're,
And like I said, the defendant, James Hackett, was later convicted following a retrial.
Yeah.
So this man actively sought to undermine and collapse a rape trial that allowed a rapist several months of freedom that he did not deserve.
you have
And
to...
much more anguish, hurt, and emotional distress to the victim of a rape.
Yeah. I take it as quite rare for judges to come down on people in the middle of a trial like that.
Yes. Yeah.
And he earned it.
Yeah, absolutely, he fucking earned it. And he's been suspended, right? But Boris Johnson was literally asked a question at Prime Minister's Questions about this case and refused to say he would sack him as the prospective candidate. He's been suspended as it stands, but like I said, the deadline for candidacy is like 2 weeks away or something. So we'll wait and see if they try and... I was about to say force him upon... But that would be... Yeah. Anyway, whether they stand him as the candidate. So so that's kind of weird pro-rape party they've got. And then also this dude, an amazing story, Ross Thompson, right? Scottish MP, formerly, he's now standing down after being accused by another MP, this time he's a Tory, by the way, unsurprisingly, having sexually assaulted a Labour MP in one of Parliament's bars.
What?
Because obviously we've got bars in Parliament, including sticking his hands down the man's pants in front of his friends.
What?
Yeah. Straight up sexual assault. Now, he's denying it, but he's also resigned and has been parliamentary investigation launched into it.
Good.
That doesn't necessarily mean he's definitely guilty, but it doesn't make him look less guilty, let's put it that way.
Yeah. again, this is right. Okay, and
Yeah.
is this the same one as?
No, this is a slightly different one. This isn't strictly speaking about rape, but it just shows you when Carl's about to go on in a minute about the Labour Party selling out the working class. Tory Party candidate, who's still very much a part of the party and seemingly on the way to the election, said that people on a thing called Benefit Street, which is a hideously exploitative television show about poor people in Britain, and she said that those people should be put down.
What the hell?
Executed for being poor or lower class. So when Carl goes on about the Labour Party not like having let down the working classes, bear in mind this kind of scum is running for the Tory Party.
Yeah, that's who he's going to be, the side he's picking. Got it. Okay. All right. Hitting play.
Completely destroying any chance of a government that isn't actually filled by left-wing radicals from taking over.
Like the NEC of UKIP.
Yes, the Stalinists of UKIP.
That would be terrible if UKIP got in with all those evil Stalinists. Great. They've got Stalinists and WOMs. Oh,
yes,
it's the duo of evil.
Yeah, it's like double kryptonite to him.
Yeah, a Stalinist vagina could kill a man at 100 paces.
Maybe a guy like Carl. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So in the attempt to do good, we would in fact do harm. I saw that Nigel Farage said he was going to be campaigning in Labour Leave seats, which I actually think is a very noble thing to do. I think he tried to offer a pact to Boris Johnson a few months ago, but Boris rejected it, saying he didn't need it, essentially. But it is still morally incumbent on Nigel to not challenge the Conservatives in the areas.
Well, I don't care about what you think is morally incumbent upon anyone, Carl. Your morality means nothing.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
He's all about,
Cock.
ends justifying the means. So, everything must be put on the altar of Brexit.
Yeah. Well, he literally says towards the end, I don't know if we probably will get to the end now, but he literally says some dumb shit like, it doesn't matter how bad the deal is, we need to get it done or something. Yeah, they're literally these people. It is sort of almost pseudo-religious in a sense.
Yep.
That it's Brexit at any cost. Doesn't matter what damage it does, it has to happen, regardless.
They just have to win.
Disgusting. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yes.
Okay, hitting play.
They're actually strong in, for fear of splitting the votes and letting a Labour candidate or a Lib Dem candidate get in. He said that he's going to be campaigning in Labour Leave seats, I believe.
But they already did this. Carl's such a dense fucker. They already did this at the Peterborough by-election. A very heavily Leave seat with a Remain Labour candidate who won because the Brexit Party and the Tory Party split. So it's already happened, Carl. He's already shown he will do that. And he gave what was technically an offer, but was more like a mafiosi shakedown of Johnson in the week, basically saying, yeah, nice election. Shame if we completely fucked it up for you. Drop the deal and we can have an electoral pact. Even though the deal he did with the EU, is literally the only vaguely successful thing he's had as his time as PM, and has built his entire success or his entire premiership around that.
Well, that and leaving last week. That and leaving last week.
Yes, that as well, yeah.
That didn't work out so well.
Okay. That ditch is still unoccupied by prime ministerial corpses. So,
yes.
I mean, bereft of prime ministerial corpse, which is promise broken.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
That's much to his credit. And, I mean, I could see myself supporting that effort because I think that's something that really needs to be done. I think there's a lot of fertile ground to be furrowed there in terms of sort of political messaging. Like what the Labour Party has become and what they've done is essentially betray the working class of this country.
Oh yeah, right.
And I would like to see the Brexit.
See what I mean? That's
And no substantiation.
Putting up candidates that want to put poor people down, like fucking rabid dogs or something. Yeah, that's totally pro-working class.
And also, isn't Labour sort of open to negotiating a Brexit as opposed to ending it? So isn't that what Carl wants?
Yeah. Well, yeah, as much as of a fudge position of Labour have, if they're the only party that's actually putting any kind of possible compromise situation forward. Like, literally, you've got on the one hand the right, and he goes on about what the Labour Party becoming very left wing. The Tory Party have become so right wing. They've basically become what UKIP was before UKIP went even further with Carl and his fucking ilk, scummy ilk. So you've got, on the one hand, you've got that kind of hard Brexit fuckery of the right wing Tory bastards. You've got complete revoke on the, say, like the SNP and the Lib Dems. Labour are the only ones who are sort of trying to bridge a divide there, which, okay, they're doing for electoral gain rather than because they think it's necessarily brilliant for the country. But at some point we do have to try and come together, otherwise it ends up in civil war or something. Like, there has to be some unification at some point.
I will just leave that and let Carl ramble on with his nonsense.
Become a more sort of populist party. I think populist party is necessary, but the problem the Brexit Party have at the moment is they're a politically correct party. Boris Johnson is actually more politically...
He's not bitter at all. He's not remotely ass mad about this in the slightest. 6 months later, still bitching about Farage on the internet, you sad bastard.
Yeah, Nigel spanked him on public television. He still can't sit down. He's still butthurt over the spanking he got.
Yeah, exactly. Get a bucket of ice to sit on.
Yes!
Carl. The swelling will go down in time.
Your cheeks should be, toughened up if you're, always going on about the snowflakes there, Carl.
Well, exactly. And the amount of fucking butt kickings he's had in public, it should be like fucking tanned leather at this point. It should be like the hide of a fucking cow.
Instead, he's using horse manure.
As we know. As Rick Perry was saying only yesterday.
Yes, as they were saying, and that source being Rick Perry. Okay.
Incorrect than the Brexit Party is at this point. He's not apologised for those letterboxes comments so far, etc., etc.
Of course, he would appreciate racism.
Well, yeah, of course, but I have to say that it's not actually true that he hasn't apologised for various things. Nigel Farage has apologised way less. Like, I hate to give Johnson even the slightest pseudo whiff of not even praise, just not condemnation. He has come out and tried to ameliorate some of the shittiness he's done in the past. He did apologise to the city of Liverpool. He has tried on occasion to seem a little bit more middle of the road or whatever, and he has literally, Carl goes on about the people being proud Europeans. Boris Johnson, at the press conference that announced that deal, he literally said that we're proud Europeans.
Carl didn't hear that because he doesn't listen.
I don't think for a second he truly meant it, but the fact that he's saying it is A, virtue signalling, and B, is politically correct, Carl. Because he's literally saying to the Europeans, we don't want to be your enemies, even though we're leaving now, as he thought we were, like on October the 31st, even though we're leaving now, we'd still like to remain friends. We're all part of the same continent. That's cool. Which is actually, I mean, like I say, I don't want to give him any real credit, but that is at least a prime ministerial thing to do. Yeah. And a very politically correct thing to do, Carl.
But that would require...
You're just wrong. Even on his shittiness, he's still wrong.
But that would require Carl to watch more than 5 minutes of a news broadcast.
Yeah. He read the headline. It said something about deal, Europe, EU. That'll do. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
There was tits on page 3, so I thought, fuck it, I'll look at them instead.
Are they still there?
Actually, that's not... No, they've been gone years.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
They used to have a real big pair of wit and humour on page
intelligence.
3. Every day.
Did you hear the story about, okay, you're going to groan when I say Margaret Thatcher, but there was a story that I saw when I was doing British politics.
If you're going to say she was on page 3 one time,
well, it does involve evidence. So the story goes that Thatcher had given a speech and she had talked about some topics, and in the Sun at the time.
So you've got all the details then. She was giving a speech and she talked about some topics,
right? But on page 2 is where the opinions were, right? And on the opinion page, both of the columns had comments or opinions about praising her speech. And she read that, and then she picked up the whole thing with both hands, pages 2 and 3, turned it around to the guy who was telling the story, I can't remember who he was, some Tory, and said, what do you think of those? True story.
That's amazing. Did you know, of all of the things I despise about Margaret Thatcher, you know she was also a paganophobe?
What is a paganophobe?
An irrational fear of beards.
Oh, yeah, she
That's
wouldn't have
genuinely
bearded
true.
men. She wouldn't have bearded men in her cabinet, would she?
Indeed so, yeah.
And she only had men in her cabinet.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, she was existing in a parliament that had, like, 3 women.
Yeah,
so,
but
I mean,
she didn't do
not
much
a lot
about
to
that.
choose from. No, to be fair, she didn't, and I'm not defending her. I'm just saying, even if she chose every woman that she could have chosen, that still would have been virtually no women. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, back to Carl, smug squirrel.
He is actually...
We haven't had a smug chuckle yet.
No. Well, this is too somber to
haven't...
smug chuckling. He's got nothing to be proud of here.
Well, he never has, and he still smug chuckles, so I mean...
Well, we've got 3 minutes left, so it could happen. I'll see if he gets one in. All right.
I do like decent political incorrectness. So I'm actually...
Yeah, racism.
But that's the wankiness of it. It's not just, I like it. I mean...
Humor. That's
saying that you don't like to mind your P's and Q's or whatever is at least like on a basic level, I get that. I get that you can't be bothered with it. But when you say, I like me some political incorrectness, that's basically you saying, I like being a complete prick.
Yeah.
That's not even you being too lazy to bother with someone else's feelings. It's literally just saying, I enjoy offending other people because I lack basic fucking decency or indeed some personality or wit.
Yes. All true things were just uttered on this show. So I'm just hitting play.
You're probably going to have to vote Conservative, even though I really don't like... Well, actually, no, that's not true. I used to live in the town centre of Swindon, so I was in like Swindon North, and now I'm slightly on the edge, so it's a different ward. This is another reason why I wouldn't stand for this one as well.
What was that just stream of bullshit that came out of his mouth?
I don't know, but let's have a look. Look at the Swindon MPs. Let's find out which MP he's refusing to stand against.
Okay, Sid Swindon North?
Well, he said he was Swindon North. I don't know. Well, there's only 2 in Swindon, I believe,
okay.
So it's going to be one of the 2.
MP Swindon. Swindon South must be then, if it's not North.
I don't know.
Robert Buckland, QC, MP Conservative.
Well, that was one of the ones that we just saw interviewed that wasn't the one that you wanted to see.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't the one that
we
saw.
That guy, right.
The
other one. Talking about prison stuff. Yeah, he was the gammon. Because he looks like Marc Francois. These gammon, they're really indistinguishable, aren't they?
They are. Well, I genuinely can't tell these white people apart.
They
all look the same.
Do they all go to Specsavers at the same time and pick out the same glasses? Because I swear these are the same ones that Marc Francois wears.
Yeah, they're the special gammon specs.
Specsavers, get yours now.
Because the problem is the gammon's so salty, it runs into the eyes. It's a specific sight problem they have, so they have to have special glasses for it.
Yeah. I guess we should check if there's more than 2 Swindon constituencies. So we'll do.
I think there's only 2.
Just north and south?
I'm pretty sure there's only 2 from what I remember.
Okay.
Researching.
Okay. Well, we'll just go with that, and people in the chat will note down, correct us if we're wrong.
Justin Tomlinson is the other one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who cares?
Okay.
The current Conservative, he might actually be more of a mad lad on Brexit than I am. He's pretty firm on it, and it's like
mad lads. That's another phrase he's just stolen from Dan Killer. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's where he got that from.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because he doesn't come up with anything on his own ever.
No.
God, he's scum, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just such a lazy piece of shit.
Well, in fairness, I'm pretty derivative of pop culture too and Twitter things, but mad lad, yeah, that's a rather affectatious phrase for him. Okay, hitting play.
Even try and undermine. I wouldn't achieve anything, but like I wouldn't even want to make the attempt to try and undermine someone who is all.
I just want to get. I wouldn't achieve anything. I wouldn't achieve anything. I wouldn't achieve anything.
That's the first. That's almost like Carl having just a brief moment of actual like self-reflection.
Yes.
And understanding a little bit about his own
place in the world.
What do I call it? Fuck-uppery? Is that a thing?
Yes. All right, here we go.
Failure.
Failure? Yeah.
Utter failure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's descriptive. That's the right phrase.
The right thing. So yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. But yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm going to have to vote Conservative because for lack of any other good options, and mostly tactically. But also, I mean, Boris is... I don't want to have this win over Boris, right? I think that Boris does represent a sort of totalitarian...
That's it. It's literally all just about, like, it's all through the prism of this culture war shit. Look, it doesn't matter if it destroys the country. We can't let anyone else win. It has to be the biggest prick there.
Right. Yeah, that sounds basically like every politician Carl has ever admired.
Yeah. Well, it always is. It's what's the most shit option I can vote for? Oh, I'll back that one.
Yes, he does have that like laser guided precision.
Technically, Farage would be more shit, but Carl's still so mad about it that he just won't.
Yeah.
He can't bring himself to do it.
He's still so resentful.
Yeah.
All right.
Gut level Britishness. That I think that the Lib Dem types leading the charge and Labour following up swiftly behind, really are bad. Like really hate and really.
Oh wow, that's such great analysis. They really are bad.
And they hate.
They're bad and not good in a bigly way.
Wow, what a sophisticated analysis Carl is providing for the money he charges.
I could have asked a fucking 4-year-old. I could have asked a 4-year-old for their opinion, and it would have been more insightful than that shit.
A 4-year-old at a Leave, 4-year-old at a Leave rally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, and it's God, Carl. Write a script, you lazy bastard.
He's just speaking
or just
from
write
his
some
gut.
bullet points. Yeah, just some bullet points, right? Little bullet point list. Fucking sticky tape, post-it note, right? Just underneath the camera, and you can remind yourself of things you need to say, so that you don't say dumb shit like "they're really bad," and then that's it. That's your level of political analysis.
Kevin, and they hate. You
and
forgot.
They hate.
And they hate. They're an adjective, and they do a verb.
Insert bottom text.
Oh wow, I can't believe people actually think he has something insightful to say. That just says such sad things about his audience, especially his paid contributors. All right, hitting play.
Oppose, and these are sort of the proud Europeans, and I think that it's the two identities.
Wait, like that's Boris Johnson?
Yeah, that's literally why I brought that up, because Boris Johnson literally said, "We're all Europeans. I'm a proud European."
Oh, Carl.
Now, like I say, I don't think he believes that for a second, because Boris Johnson doesn't really believe anything other than Boris Johnson wants to be Prime Minister, and that is it. But he still said it, so he's more of a virtue signalling, politically correct Stalinist.
Sorry about that.
Then, yeah, he's more Stalinist than the UKIP NEC. Which is probably actually true, because he's to the left of the UKIP NEC. So, I mean, yeah, that's probably correct.
Stalinist. You communist Stalinist.
But that would mean that virtually every human being on the earth is also a Stalinist by comparison to the UKIP NEC.
A communist Stalinist. Or a Stalinist communist?
A communist.
Yes. All right, hitting play.
A communist Stalinist.
Yeah, I was trying to do a portmanteau and my tongue wasn't adept.
A communist.
Okay, I'm hitting play now.
Behind them, and I prefer Boris's by a million miles. And so there's a kind of totemic quality that makes me want Boris to win.
A totemic quality? A what? Like a totem?
Yeah, I think so. I think he means it's like a standard bearer type thing, I think is what he means.
Okay, relating to or resembling totem or totems. Okay, so my inference...
Yeah, regarding of being symbolic or representative. Yeah, that's...
Of a particular quality. Basically. Oh, I wonder who he stole that from. You know that he...
Google.
No.
The Google fucking thesaurus.
Yeah, he must have gotten that from
Maybe he got word of the day toilet paper.
When he's taking a shit and having a tea before his live streams. When he doesn't test out his camera.
Exactly. And he was literally explaining how clever he was, because he knew the word totemic, but no one could fucking hear him.
Well,
so only those in his audience that could lip read knew how clever he was.
Yeah,
so.
that he must have gotten that off of some academic on Sky News or something.
Well, he listened to like a 1.5 second clip of someone saying a thing, and that was enough.
Or who was it that he said he used to watch for a left perspective on things? Dave Packman, Dave Stalin Packman, wasn't it? Yeah. When he was whining about the Andy No stuff, he's like, "Oh, I would recommend people watch Dave Packman."
Well, I'm an anarcho Pac-Man Stalinist.
All right, hitting play.
On the back of what Boris is and what he represents, rather than
what he is an elitist who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, who's never really had to face financial consequences, and has been completely adept in leading the government. And what he stands for is
basically
chaos.
You could repeat that same sentence again.
Yeah.
You could repeat that same description. He stands for the very wealthy who were born with silver spoons in their mouth and are inept gobshites.
Yes. I mean, it is amazing to me that he's not brought up his complete failure to, be successful with his own parliament, his expulsion of his own members, thereby eliminating his ability to pass anything. It's just, and he's going to support this guy because of what he represents.
And not just that, but he's already come out and said, I'm going to vote for this party, even though they haven't even launched their manifesto or their any yet. Even though they're all saying, well, they stood on the manifesto that they were going to do Brexit and blah, blah, blah. So apparently manifestos are really important when it supports what they want.
Well,
but other than that, their manifesto could contain anything, but he doesn't care because it's literally just Brexit at any cost.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Okay.
Than what he can actually achieve as well. I know that's a kind of weird wishy-washy reason, but I really, there's something in that, I think. And I'm probably not explaining it very well.
There isn't.
But
maybe if you would have thought about it before you started recording.
Exactly, like I say. But again, I know you're too lazy for a script, so remember, Carl, bullet points. When you have a big thinky brain idea, put it down on the paper. Write it. Okay, get someone else to write it down on the paper.
On the inky thing.
And then, the inky pad, or even the crayon. That's fine. I know you like the crayon, the bright colours. It works for you. Okay, cool. And then you can remember the words with your mouth hole.
It's just, I'm going to let people in the chat on a little secret. Maybe they don't realize this about how our show works. But we're to the point now where when we do a show, like if we're just going to do my bookmarks, we don't even look at my bookmarks before we go on air. We literally just react in real time. But we can do that because we've read around the topics because we keep on top of news because we're nerds. And so we have something to say about what we're talking about. And 2, like we can formulate rational connections between events and, cause and effect. Now, and that's all stuff in the outside world that we have to take in. Carl's just talking about his own opinion. And he started... Yeah. He doesn't even know what his own opinion is before he hits record.
Yeah, basically. And actually, here's some Tony Blightway in the chat. Carl's basically still doing Brexit to own the libs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's because it was the only time in his life he's ever been successful in any respect whatsoever. He's still in 2015.
Yeah, his heyday. He wants Gamergate 3.0.
I thought they were on to like 5.0 by now. I don't know, one of them.
They don't turn over as quickly as his Twitter accounts.
Or Brexit deadlines.
No, or those either. All right, hitting play.
But yeah, so I'm probably going to have to vote Conservative. If you're in the north, I can definitely see where the option is Labour or Lib Dem or Brexit Party. Definitely go for Brexit Party. You've got to be a smart and tactical.
You're such a southern twat, Carl. You really are such a southern twat. And
there we go. There we go. There we got some violent, sexy dancing.
Oh, apologies. Yeah. Shut up, all of you. I'm going to do it again. When these fucking Tory bastards like Carl go on about the North, as if the North is a monolith. You know there are lots of Labour Lib Dem seats in the South as well, right? And not just in London.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
nonsense.
Oh, there was this really amazing... Okay, I would have to look it up. So I'll describe it to you first, and you can tell me whether or not we can look at it. Because you're going to...
Cologne traffic, motherfuckers!
Beep, beep. I even have my window only slightly open to get some fresh air in. But someone had done a chart, don't fall asleep, that mapped out conservative performance by economic sort of like where they ranked in the demographics. And you basically see poor people vote for Labour and rich people vote Conservative. They really map it out. And yeah, so I got really excited about that. That chart.
Sorry, I'm asleep. Or whatever.
So
I was
yeah,
doing snoring there, but I don't know if that came across. Whether I was just a noise. It's difficult to. It's like ASMR, but not.
Yeah. So did you see Flint going, "Oh yeah, hit that mic thing, Kev"?
Look, the violent, sexy dancing happens, and if there's stuff in the way, that's tough luck on that stuff.
You're gonna do your moves.
It's a force of nature. It's just don't get in the way. Okay,
yeah, you're only
I'm
a
irrepressible.
Channel. You're only a channel of the music.
Exactly. I'm a conduit for the dance. Okay. I don't shape the shapes. The shapes shape me.
All right, do a little dance. Make a little love.
Make a little love. Get down tonight. Down tonight.
Boom. Oh, that's when you're supposed to do the mic.
I am
boom.
the white boy that they're asking to play that funky music to.
Okay. And with that little palate cleanser, we're back to Carl.
And the thing is, I wouldn't say this if it was Brexit. If it was just a regular general election where we'd have people, I'm sure I'd have different opinions, but this is the Brexit referendum. This is the final sort of say we're going to have on Brexit. And if the Conservatives get a majority...
Oh, God, it's so not. It's a general election, you twat.
Yeah.
And also, what a monumentally bland point. If the situation was fundamentally different, I'd have different opinions. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
What Carl is revealing is that he's a single issue voter. He is voting on Brexit. But the thing is, other people won't.
He is a UKIP member, to be fair. That shouldn't be a surprise.
Right. Well, he should be voting for UKIP, but he won't be. But
well, yeah, because he hasn't got there's no one standing in his constituency, or anyone else's constituency for UKIP. So it's. And unlike America, you can't do write-ins. You've got your list of candidates, and that's your lot. Well, you can put an X in all of the boxes, or just write "fuck off" on it or something.
Well, people could spoil their ballot by putting Carl's name on it, and that would make it go off like
that
bad
would
milk.
Spoil it. Yeah.
They would definitely count that as a spoiled ballot. In that case.
Yeah, exactly. They'd probably just burn that one, or.
I even forgot what he was talking about now because we've gotten so off topic.
This has got horse manure on it. How did that happen? Jesus.
Very good. All right. Oh my gosh, we're almost making it to the end of the video. All right, I'll hit play.
We can actually get something done. Otherwise,
right. He's a single issue voter. That was it. And a lot of people are going to vote on things like the NHS and a lot of other things in Brexit. So Carl lives in a single issue. He's like the NRA person in Britain. NRA
that's because the right wing and the Tory
focused.
party have become the Brexit party. That's their only real fucking thing. That's why, they're throwing out all this stuff about we're going to spend money on 20 billion new police officers and 600,000 new hospitals and all that fucking... Those are obviously ridiculous numbers, but you know what I mean. Because they want to make it seem like they've actually got a plan for government, and they haven't. It's literally just do Brexit and then stuff.
Fix the things that we screwed up.
Yeah, do Brexit and then think about the rest later. Yeah.
Well, again, as you said, he's got tunnel vision on achieving Brexit at all costs. It's the only thing he cares about. I don't know what his fans are going to think about that, but certainly the rest of the population will have other things to vote on.
Tony says 10-minute video, 92-minute stream. To be fair, we also spent half an hour looking for a fucking video of Matt Hancock being roasted by Susanna Reid.
And she did.
And then we looked at... She did, to be fair. And then we looked at 3 other articles about Tory garbage bags.
And we had to restart because I forgot to turn COG down at the beginning.
That's true.
So we had 2 intros.
The first 3 minutes.
And nobody got to hear you singing, was it R.E.M.?
R.E.M. A little bit of R.E.M. because you said that's Kevin the corner. So I stopped. That's me in the corner. There we go. So that's how that got to a thing.
See, if people stuck around long enough, they get to hear that. Even though I hope you harmonized with COG in the intro part when I didn't have it turned down. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, yes, we're about to get to the end of this.
Literally.
Oh, you really cut out a lot there. Can you repeat that?
Oh, so okay. Well, that joke is gone then. That
Okay,
moment has
bye.
passed.
All right. Well, let's just pass right on so that we can get over with Carl.
And try and keep them forever. And I'd rather, I guess, I would actually think about it. I'd probably be rather out on a bad deal than not out. See,
that's literally just admitting it. Brexit at any cost.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the damage does, how much it fucks the country up, and for how long, how many people's lives it ruins. We've just got to do Brexit to own the libs.
And then we have to spend the next 5 to 7 years talking about post-Brexit negotiations and post-Brexit problems and post-Brexit deals.
No, because Boris Johnson has promised us. No, he's promised us that we're going to have the negotiation out of the way by the end of 2020.
What? GTFO. Yeah. Shut the front door.
Indeed. There's no fucking way in this world it's going to be done by the end of 2021 or even 2022.
No.
It took the Canada deal took over 10 fucking years. Now, admittedly, it should be quicker than that on the basis that we have regulatory alignment to start. That's fair. But it's not going to take 6 fucking months.
No.
What are you talking about? This is... anyone who believes a word this fucking lying bastard has to say... I'm talking about Boris Johnson, but Carl, that would fit as a perfect description as well. Yeah. Anyone who believes a word Johnson has to say is... just not paying attention or, again, just wants to do Brexit at any cost.
And remind me what their solution for the Northern Irish border was? What did they work out in the end?
One down the Irish Sea instead. They initially wanted an amazing thing where instead of having one border between Northern Ireland and the Republic, they wanted to have 2.
Right.
Because that's perfect.
Yes.
That just means there are two lots of fucking border posts that are going to get bombed. Well done, you fucking idiots. And as soon as that got absolutely laughed out of town, and they were like, oh, that wasn't a real plan. That was like a bad source or whatever. No, that was your plan. And it got obviously shot down in flames. They've now got this thing where there are going to be checks between Northern Ireland and the mainland, which basically makes a united Ireland inevitable, which in the long run suits me down to the fucking ground. But they're supposed to be the Conservative and Unionist party. Mm-hmm. And yet Northern Ireland is essentially becoming sort of a foreign country, where in order to trade internally within their own country, the United Kingdom, they're going to have export documents.
Great. And Carl's voting for that.
They're not really a part of the country then anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because again, the UP, the Northern Irish Unionist twats, really evil, nasty people, sold their soul for, to use a biblical analogy, they took their 50 pieces of silver from Theresa May / Boris Johnson now, and they thought that the ERG, the Brexit extremists, were on their side. They weren't. They just didn't want to vote for Theresa May's deal, and they were a useful excuse. And as soon as they got their chance, they stabbed them in the back. You backed against people that just wanted to do Brexit at any cost. And if that cost is the union, which is the only thing the DUP has been sent there by their constituents to save, that's the only reason those unionist MPs ever get elected, is to save Northern Ireland as part of the UK. It's the only fucking thing. If that's the price they have to pay, the Tory extremists, then they'll happily give up the union. And they will, because Northern Ireland will leave and Scotland will leave, and eventually Wales will leave, I think. Yeah, Brextremists.
Yeah, like Flextension. I just hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, the Brextremist Flextensionists.
Yeah, so basically Carl here is saying we should vote for export papers for Northern Ireland and eventual loss, giving it back, or having unification there. That's what he supports, just to get Brexit.
Which is ironic as a member of the United Kingdom Independence Party.
Yes, not the Great British Isle.
Well, that's what the UKIP... Yeah, exactly. UKIP are so stupid to have allowed him and Dankula in, because Dankula supports Scotland leaving, so he's not a United Kingdom independence person, and this motherfucker will sell out his grandmother, let alone Northern Ireland. So they're not interested remotely in the union. Now, to be fair, neither am I, but I don't pretend to be. That's why one of the many, many reasons I won't join someone like UKIP or the Tories. because the union don't mean shit to me.
Yeah. By the way, I see Cog in the chat, and he said the United Kingdom of Great Wangland, and I just wanted to come back with that's number Wang. So
that is number Wang.
That is number Wang. All right, hitting play.
I mean, at least we can change the deal after the fact, or get in a, you know, we can once.
No, you can't.
What?
It's an international treaty,
what?
you stupid
What?
bastard.
We can change the contract once we've signed it.
It
What?
lives in fantasy land.
What is
it's an international treaty. Now, you can absolutely go against it, but then you break the deal and they shut off your access to those markets, and you become Iran.
What is he
thinking? Yeah, you can do that. You can become an international pariah state who breaks international treaties that have been signed, or you cannot sink into economic abyss.
It's just, what is he, you know, what, you get married, Carl, and then you negotiate the terms of the arrangement?
Well, no, he lives in fantasy land where, like, on the internet, words don't mean anything.
Yeah.
You can say, I'm voting Tory one day, and then I'm voting UKIP, and then I'm voting Brexit Party, and it doesn't mean anything. Whereas in reality, Carl, governing is a rather difficult thing to do. Now, admittedly, I don't like what the Tories are, but they've at least said once you've signed this deal, that's it. It's the deal. It's an international treaty. You stick by it, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what responsible governance is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. To quote from Hamilton, "Winning was easy, young man. Governing's harder, and governing is harder." Yeah. And that means when you sign a deal with people, you don't just go, okay, now let's renegotiate the deal we just signed. That's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Not just that, but why would anyone then, and that's the whole point of why it breaks down very quickly, why would anyone ever negotiate with you again?
Yes.
Because as soon as you've done that deal, you'll just go, oh, no, we're going to change it now.
But to be fair, that's
You're
what
an
Britain's
idiot.
been doing in the EU for decades.
Well, yes, to be fair, and that's why it's come to a head.
Yeah.
Because eventually, like, I mean, I in theory, I don't like referenda at all, but Britain had to make a decision. We're either in it or not in it. You can't have this halfway house of fucking around, kind of being in the EU, but kind of being pricks about it and being like, no, we're going to stop you doing the things you want to do because we're slightly standoffish.
Yeah.
No, you're either in for a penny, in for a pound, or you get the fuck out.
Party till the
Yeah.
cows come
Oh,
home,
sorry.
Prime Minister
Sorry, I
Nigel
didn't mean
Farage.
to hit that. That's what he said, or she said, actually. Yeah, and I completely agree, by the way. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I think that still should have been done via representative democracy rather than direct.
Mm-hmm.
But even so, there had to be a decision made because that was untenable going forward. David Cameron, for the entirety of his premiership, was essentially a pariah leader who no one liked in Europe. Not just because he was an unlikable chap, but because England, basically England, but the UK technically is the whole country, but mainly Tory England, shitting on the EU constantly. Why would the EU put up with that?
Yeah. And they're not going to put up with it after you've left. Because
Yeah, exactly.
aren't you going to
If
owe
you
them
sign
tons of money?
Yeah, if you sign an international treaty, right, it's because you want something, right? You want access to those markets. They shut that down, the economy collapses.
Yeah.
So you can't just go and renegotiate it. You're an idiot. You're a fucking imbecile, Carl. You don't understand the very basics of anything. Look, I know I couldn't govern, but I know at the very least I understand the basics of how to govern, in the sense that it's a continuation thing. So even if, like, say Brexit happens and then a Labour Party get in, they still have to stick by the treaty that was signed before. Now, you can renegotiate. You can go to them and say, can we tweak X, Y, and Z? But you can't just change it.
Yeah.
You can't just rip it up.
Yeah, and I'm talking about tweaking, not significant changes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I'm sure the EU would, because the Labour Party would probably want closer alignment and things. So they probably would tweak bits and bobs, because it would actually help both sides. But the point being is you can't just rip it up. Or if you do,
or
you become North Korea. You become an international pariah state.
Okay, we are so close to the end.
That's what she said.
Hitting play.
And then he can just literally tear it all fucking up in Parliament. I don't know. But
what?
Yeah, that's how that works. That's how laws work. You can just rip up a piece of paper and it stops being a law.
if you're a tyrant, but you guys live in a democracy, which isn't. Oh God, Carl.
Until
Carl's an idiot. He thinks Nigel Farage, a man who's lost 7 elections to get into Parliament, can become Prime Minister.
True. All right. Okay, we're just going to barrel through.
Just treat it as an incremental process and keep going for the Conservatives. And, at the end of the day, I don't even mind, because I'm really liking Boris as a person. So I will support Boris on strength of feeling.
So he doesn't like the Conservative Party, but then... Oh, that at the end. There you go.
Brilliant political analysis from Sargon and McCann.
Well, at least he's self-aware that was complete garbage.
Yeah, was utter rubbish.
Oh,
that
man.
was ridiculous. And not just that, but everything, it's just feels.
It is feels.
Total feels.
He literally talked himself into liking the Conservative Party by the end of the video.
Because Boris Johnson is garbage and Carl likes garbage.
Yeah, basically, that was his rationale. God, is he useless.
But is anyone surprised he's voting Tory?
Oh, no.
I'm not.
I'm surprised it took him this long to admit it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to bring this up and I waited till after the video, but 250 wrote this story in the chat that I think is kind of interesting, so I'm just going to bring it up. I don't know if it's true or not.
Mike's gone mental.
Oh, I don't know if it's gone for you here. Let me check. Is that better now?
That's better.
Okay, sorted. So 250 in the chat wrote something. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's in the chat, so we're just going to discuss it like it is true. David Mitchell was always reluctant to do the number wang thing because he says he doesn't believe you should do a sketch if you can't explain why it's funny. And I was just thinking, I can totally explain why number wang is funny. But before I did, I wanted to see if you guys, or if you had an opinion on why number wang was funny.
It's because it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
It literally works on the basis that it doesn't make sense, and you just shout, it's number wang.
But the thing is that there seems to be a logic to the game going on that the host and the players all understand, but the audience doesn't. And so when everyone participates in this ridiculous thing, as if they know what's going on, when it can't be figured out, it's absurd, isn't it? And that's part of what comedy is being absurd and ridiculous and something that you wouldn't ever see. And that's why it's funny. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So, sorry about the sound problems there, guys. I'm glad it got better.
Unacceptable, I know. Next time we'll have it on my channel, it'll be fucking perfect.
Yeah, your channel has always got the best bandwidth. Always.
Absolutely fucking crisp. This will run like a slick machine, this show.
All right. Have we been going for almost 2 hours? 1:45, yeah.
Yeah. It's time to come out. It's time to pull out and come on your inner thigh.
Not on her left thigh. Oh, yeah. I showed, after the last show, I showed Kevin Little Dickie's ex-boyfriend. Oh, we should do pillow talking. That one's very, very funny. But yeah, and he enjoyed it, especially. Like certain lines.
It was something I couldn't comprehend. I had to cramp my neck to see it end to end.
I mean, the physics of his dick just don't make any sense. Yeah, so sorry, that's a little us joke. That, if you know Little Dicky...
That is an us joke. That is an us joke, yeah.
Yeah. A dick joke is very much an us joke. Anything else coming up on your channel anytime soon that you want to promote or plug? Any videos you are working on or thinking about? Or shows you're appearing on?
No.
Well, that was easy.
Is the basic answer. I wish I had more going on there. I'm going through a little bit of a creative, not even creative, just laziness funk when it comes to YouTube. Probably because I've got a strike on my channel. I mean, it doesn't actually make any difference because I can still stream, so it's not a problem. But it's just like, so I'm just, I've got some of the research done for the ICMI Descent of Manosphere, but that's going to be ages away because,
Yeah, I think that 3 years of Trump and Brexit, I think it's such an energy suck that if you are in this part of like what we're doing, what we keep up with every day, it's hard to react and even do videos anymore because there's no time between events. Even on Twitter, like a Ben Shapiro thing can blow up in a day and be gone and you've forgotten about it because other outrageous things happened. Whereas like back in 2015, you could take a day or two to like savor some right-wing ridiculousness or put together a compilation video of them contradicting themselves. But yeah, I think that's why the live show format is working out pretty well because it allows us to keep up with things literally as they happen. Because sometimes we get on air and like things will have happened an hour before we got on air. So
yeah,
for me,
all
that takes
breaking news as it's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you got coming up on your channel?
Basically, yeah, same. I did my show today, and oh god,
it was really good. I watched all of it.
Fuck off. No, it was. Again, I finally cracked the code for how to do these darn live streams on YouTube, and I gave you Kevin.
You didn't. Because we were talking for 3 fucking minutes and no one heard us.
No, they heard Cog singing over us, which was very confusing in an auditory way. So
and terrible. I'm only joking, Cog.
I got someone requesting his music the other week, but so I actually typed out, because both Kevin and Cog are working on OBS, like this sort of 7 steps of how to do this, and when I tried to explain it to Kevin, who hadn't seen the message, he's like, I'm bored already, I don't want to know. I made all this effort for you. I made you this beautiful little technical guide.
There are only 2 things I want from you, Krista.
My wit and intelligence.
Your wit and intelligence all over my nuts. What's up?
Yeah, I hope they're almonds, because those are my favorite nuts.
Yes, they are pistachio.
Oh, I like pistachio with some, or peanuts with like wasabi, but is it really wasabi? I think most of the times it's just horseradish.
You're so white. Oh my god.
So basically, the only thing I have coming up on my channel is the next time you and I do a happy hour. So
fucking muggles. Jesus.
Yes, there we go. For the rest of you, go find something else to do with your time now. We're not going to entertain you anymore.
Yeah, go and find something worthwhile to do.
Yeah, there's like real news.
Go out. There is. Yeah.
Darius was just fuck already, and we've never actually met, so that would be difficult.
Yeah, but I feel like by the Bible, we've definitely committed adultery in our hearts.
Well, according to Jesus. Yeah.
If you ever thought about someone's wit and humour, you've never, or intelligence or whatever the fuck, I've literally forgotten what my euphemism for tits was now. Jesus. So did I break that fucking spell for anyone? Fuck, the moment's gone.
All right, so
the moment's gone, by which I mean I've just ejaculated. I need to sleep.
So we should bring this up, wrap it up, and bring it to a close before Kevin starts to snore. Look, if you want to know when these shows go out, join our Facebook group or follow us. Like put on notifications on Twitter, but don't do it on my account because I tweet out a lot. So maybe Kevin's account. If you want to know
when these shows are, telepathy.
Yeah, that's kind
it's
of
really your only answer.
Right.
And even then, I might actually look, if we can communicate via our minds, I will still talk shit to you. So bear that in mind.
Like this is how Kevin's telepathy expectations work. So he wrote me today, "Do you want to do an RTG video? I want to rip him." And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good." And then he writes back, "What video do you want to do?" I'm like, "Dude, this was your idea."
Yeah, but I was basically like, you do the research and I'll just turn up and rip on a rapey fucker. Yeah, that's it.
I'll come up with the idea. I'll float it and then you do the work, Kristi. That's Kevin's telepathy.
I'm an ideas person. You're like an actual like functioning adult.
That is such a lame excuse. All right, so.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But what did you expect other than that? I came up with an idea I refused to do any research for. So, yeah.
Our normal relationship. No, that's not entirely true. No, you did 3 separate links for this show that came out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, we're doing a Sargon show. Take a picture of his channel. You're like, okay, we'll do that one. All right, we're set. And then, no context, just 3 random links. And at the end,
because we were doing a show about who he was voting for in the election.
Well,
and then
you didn't tell me that part. You didn't tell me that part.
I came up with 3 links for Tory candidates. Like, put 2 and 2 together, Kristi. Come on now.
Right. Just infer which video you picked without you actually communicating that from
Kristi,
the links that you sent.
Telepathy,
this is what I deal with, you guys. This is what I have to deal with to make this show.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. Like, if I think a thought and you don't understand it, that's
my
problem.
Fault. Yes. This is the behind the scenes MTV. Where were they? Where are they now? What it was like to work with Kevin.
Kristi's just like, oh, fuck. Yeah, it was shit. It was really annoying. He's a dick.
Well, no. Not all the time. All right, so...
Not all the time. Not all the time. That is a fucking quality endorsement. He's a dick some of the time.
Well, I mean, it's also, you wouldn't disagree with that, right?
I live by the mantra something, something, something.
And on that bombshell, this is cool because I'm just watching this live stream, infinitely live stream, slide in the live stream screen of the live stream. That's so Inception. Anyway, I'm telling you, everyone here, this is how you actually end the stream now. So, because I have to end it here, and then I have to go end it on OBS. I have to end it twice.
Okay, Kristi, stop speaking.
So, from thanks to the people in the chat, thanks to the people watching in the future, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Kev Kev. Say goodbye, happy Kev Kev.
Goodbye, happy Kev Kev.
He did the bit.
I'm delirious. I'm delirious with happiness.
So
Can you not
happy.
tell?
All right.
This
bye.
is British happy now. This is what Britain is.
I have to stop
This
the
is
stream.
ecstatic.
I have to
No, you
stop the
don't.
stream.
You really don't. You don't.
Oh,
It's fine.
wait. No. Oh, I haven't done this. End the stream? Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake. This is ridiculous.
And that's how it ended. No, come on.